Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security in the Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Security in Oshikoto, Oshana and Kunene regions from 31st May to 4th June 2021. I so move, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Other reports and papers. Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I lay upon the table reports of the Auditor General on the account of the following: Municipality of Wolfish Bay for the financial year ended 30th of June 2020. Second, Municipality of Ochivarongo for the financial year ended 30th of June 2020. Third, Regional Council for the Commerce Region for the financial year ended 31st of March 2020. Fourth, Motor Vehicle Accident Fund for the financial year ended 31st of March 2021. And finally, National Road Safety Council for the financial year ended 31st of March 2021. I so move, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Notices of questions? Notices of motions? Oh, yes, please. Wait for the light.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I would like to ask an urgent question to the Minister of Education. If she's not here, the Deputy Minister is here.
Is that the oral question?
It's an oral question.
Can I have the gist of it?
It's about the gangsterism at schools. Gangsterism at schools. Gangsterism at schools.
Yes.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Deputy Minister, there is a great concern that the Rebot High School in Rehoboth is going down the drain. Last week, a learner was stabbed with a sharp object in the head. A few weeks back, a grade 10 learner at that specific school stabbed a learner at a nearby primary school. There is no rule and order at that school. And I believe the former Minister of Education, Honourable David Nawandi, some time back, tried to put measures in place to address these issues at schools. But the Rebot High School, Honourable Deputy Minister, is really having a problem. A few learners is giving problems, and the career of 1,100 learners are at stake. The question is, Honourable Deputy Minister, what are you doing to address the issue of gangsterism at school? Alcohol abuse, drug abuse at that school. There is no order at that school. Also, Honourable Deputy Minister, the principal is on sick leave all the time. There is no proper management at that school. What are you going to do to really address the lack of management, the lack of discipline at the Rebot High School?
Thank you.
It is quite urgent. It's quite serious. In fact, you should have police presence at that school as from tomorrow.
Yes. Okay. Let's get the Deputy Minister
so really,
to respond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. The Deputy Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. This is the first time I'm hearing it. I would really what I would like to do is for the honourable member just to put it for us in writing so that I know which school is it, so that we can follow up. And I know that when it comes to rules and orders, every school is having a school board. Why should a school go to such an extent when it comes to rules and orders at a school? And things like that, you don't wait for the ministry. It have to be reported immediately to the police station. If that's all. I will appreciate if I can get it in writing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I'm going to encourage.
Mr. LPM is there.
Order, honourable members. Order. Can I just, as a parent, something like this is of great concern. It might be happening at that particular school, but the little information that I have is also affecting some other schools in some other parts of the country. So what I'm going to encourage is for the Deputy Minister, Yosef, to come to get together so that she can do a proper follow-up. Yes, Honourable Jan van Wyk.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Deputy Minister, I don't think we have time for writing questions to you.
Yes.
Your current inspector is the former principal of that particular school, and he's aware of the situation. The question is, why is he sitting on these reports? So, Honourable Deputy Minister, I would advise that you, as a matter of urgency, make contact with the inspector and start with him. I will be glad to have a meeting with you, to take with me the Shadow Minister of Education, because this issue is very serious.
Wonderful.
Thank you
I
very
allow
much.
you to do that. Let's move on.
Who is absent?
Notices of motion, messages from the head of state, ministerial statements. So we are done. The Secretary will read the first order of the day.
Resumption of debate on second reading appropriation bill.
When the Assembly adjourned on Thursday, the 31st of March 2022, the question before the Assembly was a motion by the Honourable Minister of Finance that the bill be read a second time, and I'll give the floor to the Honourable Minister of Finance for his reply.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Sorry, let me just see this one. Honourable Speaker, honourable members, I hereby rise to respond to questions, comments, and matters that have been raised during the second reading of the Appropriation Bill 2022-2023 and the Expenditure Framework. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the honourable members who have taken the floor and made contributions to the budget proposal. We have listened very attentively to your contributions and found some of your contributions valuable food for thought, which we will incorporate in our budget planning and execution going forward. Regrettably, some of the interventions are mere general statements, not based on facts, research, and therefore will not be helpful in formulating future budgets. I will not respond to all questions, but I will address the issues raised during the debate in a thematic fashion. A concern has been raised that we do not consult adequately. We do not consult all the relevant stakeholders adequately, particularly political parties, during the budget preparation process. In the run-up to the mid-term review, which determines the future budget policy direction, we always write to the Office of the Speaker requesting the Office to convene a budget consultative meeting with chief whips of political parties represented in Parliament. Even more, we encourage non-executive members of the National Assembly to attend consultative meetings. Our latest letter was sent out on the 14th of October 2021, and the consultative meeting took place on the 25th of October 2021. And this is Exhibit 1. This is the letter that I'm talking about. I have more exhibits if you want me to show more exhibits. Unfortunately, these meetings are poorly attended. It appears that most of the non-executive members are not genuinely interested in providing input into the budget preparation. They are only interested in complaining about the lack of consultation during the budget debate. Honourable members, it is important to be truthful to the Namibian nation. B. Confusion. Some members lamented the size of the budget deficit and consequently the increase in government debt. Yet the same honourable members are also the ones professing the increase in civil servants' wages. This is a contradiction, Honourable Speaker, because increasing salaries of civil servants will worsen the deficit and consequently the debt, or Namibia's debt, will become unsustainable. We are left to wonder whether these contradictory statements are made for political posturing purposes or are as a result of a lack of understanding on how things work in real life. I would like to advise the honourable members who are making these contradictory statements to desist from doing so because they are confusing the nation.
Yeah, please.
C. Youth. A number of honourable members have rightly pointed out the need to create economic opportunities for the youth with a view to reducing youth unemployment. It is a fact that unemployment is a problem, and this is not a new problem, nor is it a post-independence phenomenon. High unemployment has been with us for a considerable period of time. We need to recognize, however, that the decline in commodity prices in 2015, persistent drought since then, and the devastation of COVID-19 have exacerbated the problem. It is also true that youth unemployment is not only unique to Namibia, but is a regional and a continental challenge. Youth unemployment is estimated at 40% in Namibia, about 55% in South Africa, about 46% in Eswatini, about 35% in Lesotho, and about 36% in Botswana, a country considered to be a poster child of economic development. Even in countries with relatively low unemployment, with relatively low youth unemployment, Honourable Said, listen, I'm coming. I'm coming to the solution. Yes, just listen. I'm coming there.
Order, please. Yeah.
Very good. So, even in countries, Honourable Speaker, with relatively low youth unemployment, the level of underemployment among the youth could be as high as 70%, meaning a higher percentage of youth is doing odd jobs that do not fully occupy them. Honourable Speaker, analogous to medicine, before a medical doctor gives a treatment regime to a patient, the doctor needs to do a thorough examination of the patient. Else, she or he risks misdiagnosing the patient, resulting in a wrong treatment. As Alexander Pope once said, and I want to quote, "Little learning is a dangerous thing," end of quote. It is therefore critical that before we offer solutions to youth unemployment in Namibia, we do a proper diagnosis. Youth unemployment should not be seen in isolation, but should be understood in the context of the general high unemployment situation in Namibia. The rate of high unemployment can be explained by a number of factors, including the long-term impact of many years of deprivation and underdevelopment during the colonial period, among others. Today, however, I will just focus on the structure of the economy. Like many other countries, the Namibian economy is dominated by the extractive and service sectors. The extractive sector is by nature a capital-intensive sector and is increasingly becoming more so, especially in diamond mining, where much mining activities are now taking place offshore. By implication, Although this sector significantly contributes to GDP and exports of the country, it does not create enough jobs. Traditionally, most youth who were unemployed are those with low level of educational attainment. This situation has now changed. For the cohort between 15 and 25 years of age, unemployment is largely the same, irrespective of the level of education. There have been some assertions that employers are being selective because they only want to hire older people and should therefore be forced to hire the youth instead of their older brothers and sisters. This is another misdiagnosis of the disease. The fact that employers prefer older people is just symptomatic of the fact that there are many people who are looking for work. Therefore, given a choice, employers will naturally hire the older and mature ones. I therefore dare to say that the solution to unemployment largely lies in changing the structure of the Namibian economy with a view to create more job opportunities. I'm coming. Honorable Sir, just be patient, I'm coming there. With a view to creating more job opportunities for every Namibian, including the youth. I concede that diversifying the economy is a difficult undertaking which requires interventions from different angles, but I believe Namibia is moving in the right direction to grow and diversify the economy in a way that will create jobs for the youth. The implementation of HPP2 plan will go a long way in addressing the unemployment problem, particularly youth unemployment. Pillar 2 of HPP2 contains clear goals to grow the economy and find new engines of growth. What has been done since the launch of HPP2 in March last year? Government conducted a deeper assessment, namely growth diagnostics, because you have to diagnose the disease properly before you give a treatment. Using new tools with a view to developing a diversification strategy. This assessment, using over 50 years of world data and country experiences, confirmed that countries that have successfully diversified their economies are those that are producing diverse and complex products. These countries have used existing know-how in the country to move to the nearest products in the product space that are using the same know-how while learning new skills. These countries also blend the existing domestic know-how in the country by bringing into the country complementary skills that will create opportunities for local people. The emphasis here, Honorable Speaker, is complementary skills, not those that will replace the hiring of locals with foreigners. The growth diagnostic assessment also confirmed that Namibia's complexity index is relatively low compared to her peers, the upper middle income countries. Based on the above findings, a diversification strategy was crafted to grow the economy in a way that creates jobs, including youth unemployment. The strategy identified 97 products from an assessment of 1,200 products in the product space that have the potential to diversify the Namibian economy successfully. The identified products were subjected to both feasibility and attractiveness factors. One of the attractiveness factors assessed was the ability to create youth employment and employment for women. As I pointed out in the media budget statement in November last year, 97 products are grouped in 5 themes. 1, food industries, mining and metal fabrications and related industries, transportation and logistic equipment, chemicals and basic materials, and electronics. As I have mentioned in the budget statement a few weeks ago, a tool has also been developed to guide investment promotion by the Namibian Investment Promotion and Development Board and help Namibian embassies. This tool will be used to, among others, map out the potential investors in these industries, where they are located, and countries in which they are currently investing. This will indeed be economic diplomacy at best, and further, for those industries that are already in existence in Namibia and have potential to expand further, productivity task forces have been established to engage business operating in the identifying industries to remove the binding constraint to growth and employment creation. The first productivity task force in the high-value fruit sector has already kicked off in December 2021 is currently under full swing. This sector is deliberately was deliberately selected to allow us to learn how to manage productivity task forces before we move to more complex industries. In addition to goods, we are also continuing to use the same assessment framework to identify services with potential to grow the economy and create jobs for Namibians, including the youth. Government will announce the results of this work in the next few months. Furthermore, Namibia is aggressively diversifying its energy strategy to take advantage of her significant renewable resources and create low carbon footprints. In this regard, green hydrogen, which may become a significant source of energy in the future, has been made part of our toolkit to change the landscape of the Namibian economy. This and its offshoot industries will add dynamism to the Namibian economy and support job creation. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, while there is no silver bullet to our unemployment challenge, especially among the youth, and those who claim to have silver bullets are not telling the truth. Understanding the disease that we are dealing with is the starting point of designing an effective cure. We have done a great deal of work in recent months to understand our unemployment disease. We believe we have a credible plan and an effective implementation of HPP2, particularly the focus on diversification, will go a long way in addressing our unemployment challenges. This is being complemented by other interventions in other areas such as land reform, including security of leaseholds in rural areas, strengthening the education system, SME support, interventions such as the Code of Good Practices, and I want to know who has read the Code of Good Practices, because it was circulating for comment. Any, just show by hand, show of hand. Who has read it? I only see one hand. So I think these are important things that we should pay attention to, so that we can make an impact in empowering our youth and women. All these areas are part of HPP2. So to win this war, we need the support of all Namibians, irrespective of political affiliation. We also need to implement our strategies more frantically than before. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I would like to urge all honorable members to get involved in youth matters. I believe to some honorable members, youth development is a subject only to be discussed during parliamentary debates to score political goals. To some members, including myself, youth empowerment is a cause to be pursued all the time. We eat, drink, and sleep this stuff. And we put our money where our mouths are. For some honorable members, the money is yet to follow the mouth. It's high time we do so. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I now put the question that the bill be read a second time. Any objection? Then it is agreed to. The Secretary will read the bill a second time.
Appropriation bill.
Thank you. Let's move on. The Secretary will read the second order of the day. No, we're moving on. No. Not in the middle. We are sequencing everything. Please. No, we are done. Honorable member, we are done. No. I'm not going to give you the floor in the middle. We're in the middle. No. I'm quite clear. Yes. No. I'm not entertaining. No. Honorable member, honestly, no. No. This is a formal reply. It's a formal reply we have done. No, honorable member. Yes.
Resumption of committee stage public procurement amendment bill.
Does the Deputy Minister of Finance move that the Assembly now goes into committee? Yes? Thank you. Any objection? Who seconds? Agreed to. And I call on the Deputy Chairperson of the Whole House Committee to take the chair.
It's fine. They will hear.
The whole House Committee has to consider the Public Procurement Amendment Bill. I put clause 1. Any discussions? Deputy Minister.
If we can insert the following definition after the definition of accounting officer. Associate in relation to the disclosure of interest includes A co-shareholder of a company incorporated under Chapter 4 of the Companies Act of 2004, Act number 28 of 2004, or an entity established by an act of Parliament including subsidiaries of such an entity. B, a co-member of a close corporation contemplated in Section 2 of a Close Corporation Act 1988, Act number 26 of 1988. C, a person to whom one has granted or from whom one has received a general power of attorney. D, a trustee or beneficiary of a trust contemplated in subsection 1 of the Trust Monies Protection Act 1934, Act number 36 of 1934. E, a core member of a cooperative registered under Cooperative Act 1996, Act number 23 of 1996, or F, partners in a partnership or joint venture or similar agreement. And then B, where I substitute the following definition for the definition of close relative to mean close relative means a spouse, child, grandchild, parent, or sibling. So submit.
Yes, can you table the amendments? Any discussion on clause 1? Any objection? Agreed to? I put clause 2. Any discussions? Any objection? Agreed to? I put clause 3. Any discussions? Any objections? Agreed to? I put clause 4. Any discussions? Any objections? Agreed to? I put clause 5. Any discussions? Any objections? Agreed to? I put clause 7. Any discussions? Any objections? Agreed to? I put clause 8. Any objection? Any discussion, sorry? Any objections? Agreed to? I put clause 9. Any discussions? Any objection? Agreed to? I put clause 10. Any discussions? Any objection? Agreed to? I put clause 11. And about Deputy Minister?
The amendments to section 20, clause 11, section 20 of the Principal Act is amended by substitution for the subsection 4 of the following subsection 4. Money or donation which are not in the form of money received. So we will take out by the way of donation, to replace by way of donation, for the benefit of the board, may be administered on such conditions as may be agreed on between the donor and the board. before agreeing on the conditions for the donation, the board must obtain the minister's approval of the conditions. Is that sufficient?
Yes, you may table the amendment of the Deputy Minister.
Clause 11. Clause 11.
Yes.
Any discussion on clause 11? Any objection? Clause 11. Amendment on section 20 of Act number 15 of 2015. Agreed to? I put clause 12. Clause 12 is amendment of section 21 of Act number 15 of 2015. Any discussions? Any objection? Agreed to. I put clause 13. Honorable Deputy Minister.
Substitute the following subclause for subclause C. C, the insertion of the following subsection after subsection 4A, in accounting officer, if the accounting officer considers it necessary, the accounting officer must amend the annual procurement plan referred to in the subsection 4A and submit the amended plan to the policy unit within 7 days of the amendment. For B, an accounting officer who fails to submit the annual procurement plan on time may be held liable for non-compliance in terms of section 748.
Yes, may table the amendments. Any discussions on clause 13? Any objection? Agreed to. I put clause 14. I put clause 14. Any discussions? Any objection? Agreed to. I put clause 15. Any discussions? Any objections? Agreed to. I put clause 16. Any discussions? Any objection? Agreed to.